President Muhammadu Buhari canvasses for votes in Kaduna, pledges more commitment to fighting corruption and boosting agriculture as Vice President Oshibajo seeks house-to-house support in Ondo State.
The support you have given, you think the administration has justified the support you have given by the performers.
More campaign organizations and coalition of progressive parties endorsed President Buhari's re-election bid on the premise of his administration's achievements.
If at the end of the day the court says we are wrong and they submit a list, we will accept.
All hopes not lost for APC in Zamfara and Rivers as INEC speaks on final list. Plus, 14 countries converge in Abuja to seek solution to logistic challenges in transportation sector. Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumai Yusuf. Reading with me tonight from Lagos is Elizabeth Omori and Ogechi Paul in Port Harcourt. Now, socio-economic activities in Kaduna metropolis were virtually put on hold as APC presidential campaign train arrived the state to garner public support towards sustaining the broom revolution and the greater interest of all across the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that for President Muhammadu Buhari, it was virtually a homecoming of some sort, and the response by the people was overwhelming and remarkable. Details, the full report will be brought to you in the course of the bulletin. One of the most potent organizations in the nation's political landscape, the People's Democratic Movement, has formally resolved to support and work assiduously for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari in the forthcoming polls. The group formed by the late General Shehu Musa El-Adua made its position known during a solidarity visit to President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that a coalition of progressive political parties also declared support for the candidacy of the Nigerian leader.
The delegation of the People's Democratic Movement, comprising elders, zonal, as well as state chairmen from across Nigeria, was led to the State House by Governor Muhammad Abubakar of Bauchi State.
They have had attempts at joining political parties as a group that did not succeed. For the first time, they have sat and they have resolved that because of the performances of Mr. President, they will, as a group, join in the bid for Mr. President to get a second term of office.
National chairman of the movement, Senator Abubakar Mahdi, said the members are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that President Muhammadu Buhari means well for Nigeria and Nigerians.
We have observed with keen interest the giant strides your government has recorded in the areas of infrastructural development, security, fight against corruption. Your commitment to upgrade road networks, railway lines, and improve power supply is highly commendable, sir, and have resolved on the 4th of January 2019 to support your candidature in the forthcoming presidential election coming up on the 16th of February 2019.
Senator Mahdi is, however, worried that public office holders who had access to public treasury have found allies in the nation's legal system, both in the bar and on the bench, and urged the president to remain steadfast and resist attempt by corruption at fighting back. President Muhammadu Buhari, who received a copy of the movement's resolution from the founding chairman, Dr. Farouk Abdulaziz, thanked the group for not only identifying with his efforts as sustaining the development of Nigeria, but also his aspirations.
Really, I have been overwhelmed by your steadfastness. I honestly thought there wasn't such a consistent group in this country. I mean, people who would make up their mind based on principles, you know, and stick to it for all these years. God is great. Yes. I'm pleased that patriotism is the bottom line as far as we are concerned. We work for our country and our people. and we will continue to do so. I respect all of you for that, because so many of you, by your profession, you can move up and down, you know, and change positions and so on for benefit material or otherwise, but you remain steadfast. This is very respectful, and it has given me a lot of hope in our country and in our elite.
The president also received in audience a coalition of progressive political parties led by Bashir Yusuf on a similar mission. The chairman and secretaries of 14 political parties that formed the group have endorsed a memorandum of understanding to support and also work for the renewal of President Buhari's mandate next month.
We are here to declare our support for your bid to secure another 4-year term in office in order to complete your 8-year program of rebuilding Nigeria. We have kept faith with you and your administration over this 4-year period because we are satisfied with your performance as president and because our faith in your leadership and our commitment to your vision for a better Nigeria have only become stronger.
I really appreciate this, and I respect your integrity, your firmness for being so steadfast in, you know, your belief in one Nigeria and supporting this administration, and by your own address, for you are sure you have not wasted your time. The support you have given, you think the administration has justified the support you have given by the performance.
The coalition of progressive political parties says its members have already been organized to embark on full-scale campaign at all levels and will leave nothing to chance towards ensuring victory for the president. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Benin monarch Oba Egwere II wants politicians to exhibit the spirit of sportsmanship, patriotism, and ensure politics of bitterness before, during, and after elections. He gave the counsel when President Muhammadu Buhari paid him a visit. Ogochukwuka Ona reports.
Oba Egwere II expressed delight on the president's visit to Edo State. He told the president that as the head of traditional institution in the state, that he has held a series of meetings with stakeholders in the state on the need for politicians not to heat up the polity and avoid any acts capable of truncating the nation's democracy. He added that prayers have been offered to avert any forms of violence in the forthcoming general elections. The Oba commended the president for his support to the development of the state and appealed to him to look into the area of electricity.
And we advise politicians to play politics according to the rules and to not regard politics as a do or die affair. We equally caution them against the use of weapons and use as tools to disrupt the electoral process.
In his remark, President Muhammadu Buhari describes the Oba as an articulate monarch while reassuring his administration's commitment to fight corruption, Boko Haram insurgency, as well as improving other sectors of the economy.
On security, we are going to thank you very much for appreciating the effort we have done, and we believe and we agree with you that much more needs to be done. We will continue to do our best. About the power program, as I said, when we were driving from the airport here, the governor, it was one of the issues that he emphasized to me. I promise Your Majesty I will look into that.
Earlier, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki told the Oba of Benin that the president is in the palace to show solidarity, while noting the support of the president to the development of various sectors in Edo State, including the construction of the Gelegele Seaport. Present at the course visit include National Chairman of APC Adams Oshomole, some state governors of the party, and members of the National Assembly. In Benin, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
That was the report by Eugenia. Moving on, still on the presidency, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has again called on Nigerians to see the need. President Muhammadu Buhari should be elected for another term as the president remains committed to improving the lives of the people and make the country an envy of other nations. The vice president said this when he paid a visit to Jukwe, Kubwa and Pape communities in the Federal Capital Territory. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
This is not the first time the people of Mpape would have the vice president as a guest in their community. To be specific, it is the third time Vice President Yemi Osinbajo would be paying a course visit to the people since the inception of the Buhari administration. The vice president said the federal government is elated that it has been able to address some concerns raised during his previous visits, stressing that the president is a man of his words.
We must know that our country, this country, in another few years, our population will almost be 250 million. We are getting more and more every day. So we must be prepared for the future. That is why we are planning now for the future, making sure that we have enough money to provide for everybody, to provide for schools, to provide for hospitals, to provide even for railway, for roads and everything. That is why we are saying that it is a responsible government, a government of responsible people and honest people that we need for the next 4 years, even for the next 16 years. We must make sure that the people that we are voting for are honest people, not people who will take our money and spend it on themselves. In the last elections, we were never defeated and we will never be defeated.
It's another homecoming in Jukwe Karaxes, where the people trooped out to welcome the vice president.
You vote for the APC. The APC is a serious government. It's a serious and dedicated government, an honest government. And I can tell you that even anybody, even the enemies of Buhari know that he's a very straightforward and honest man.
At Bazango in Kubwa, Vice President Osinbajo and entourage visit the family compound of 102-year-old Sunday Kukwaba Gazazi, a respected Bayi family. He urges the people to cast their votes right by voting for President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2019 elections. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And now the Yobe State APC campaign organization has vowed to mobilize electorate to deliver 1 million votes to President Muhammadu Buhari in February 16th presidential elections. This was the consensus reached at the inauguration of 99-member campaign organization performed by Governor Ibrahim Gaidam, with APC National Secretary and gubernatorial candidate Mai Mala Buni in addition to the Senate Majority Leader Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, among others. APC stakeholders in attendance. Mustafa Yusuf Musa reports that in 2015, President Buhari secured 400,000 votes in Yobe State.
About 4 weeks away to the presidential election, the All Progressives Congress in Yobe State has concluded strategies designed to ensure landslide victory at the polls with the inauguration of campaign organization headed by the former Commissioner of Works, Transport and Energy, Lon Shetima Ali, to be assisted by 12 directorates and 98 members. Governor Ibrahim Gaidam tasked the APC campaign organization to be guided by the achievement recorded at the federal and state levels. The Yobe State APC gubernatorial candidate and national secretary of APC, Mai Mala Buni, said he will lead a vigorous campaign to all nooks and crannies of the state to ensure victory for President Muhammadu Buhari and all other APC candidates. Director General of the APC campaign organization, Lon Shetima Ali, assured to mobilize electorate across the state to deliver 1 million votes out of the 1.3 million registered voters in the state for President Muhammadu Buhari and other APC candidates. This is a submission that the Senate Majority Leader Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan concurred, adding that Yobe State is home of APC. In Damaturu, Mustafa Yusuf Musa, NTA News.
Minister of Information Lai Mohammed has called on Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to explain to Nigerians his involvement in the collapse of Bank PHB through a slush fund. The minister, while presenting to the press at the presidential villa the various documents of the bank, which showed that a memo of 156 million was raised on the 13th of January 2009 on an account in which the former vice president and People's Democratic Party flag bearers company Claremont Management Service account allegedly benefited.
The paper trail, which we have here, shows that he benefited to the tune of 156 million naira from that slush fund. And the paper trail, which we have here, started from an internal memo of the 13th of January 2009.
The Buhari media organization said the visit of presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar to the United States has not changed the material fact of his indictment by the U.S. Congress. It said in a statement signed by its chairman, Ni Akinsiju, and Secretary Cassidy Majuke that the former vice president's eventual entry into the country after a 12-year travel ban cannot negate the U.S. congressional report that named him in one of 4 notorious cases of money laundering in the world. You are watching NTA Network News. Our break beckons. NTA News continues after this time out. Thanks for staying with NTA Network News. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed strong confidence that a way around the problem of conflict between farmers and herders would be found, working with the states which have an important role to play in finding a lasting solution. Speaking at the State House when he received leaders of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, the president appealed for calm among all citizens, saying that his government will give equal respect to all citizens, irrespective of their ethnic, religious and geopolitical backgrounds. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The president said whatever it would take, he was determined to bring peace between farmers and herders and appealed to all to be patient and exercise restraint as his government is working for an enduring solution, but regretted that politicizing the issue by selfish individuals did not also help matters. He emphasized that the conflict was neither religious nor ethnic, but one that his administration has foreseen and warned about. The organization, led by Mohammed Kirua, informed the president that the 20 million strong body had sent the delegation to endorse his bid for a second term of office on account of the administration's achievements.
The reserves were not maintained, so we have had a serious period of neglect during the first succeeding administration. It is now that we have begun to see light at the end of the tunnel. I have also seen the desire and effort of what he wants to do to revive the entire livestock sector of the country.
In the same vein, Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State says his government, working with the president, has successfully returned internally displaced persons back to their original homes.
Only about 3 months ago, we escorted virtually all of them with tremendous amount of foodstuff and all kinds of provisions. As I speak with you now, we have no IDPs. They are all back in their homestead with all the necessary comfort and security they deserve to remain in peace. Besides that, we have now embarked on rigorous and vigorous implementation of ranching.
The governor also commended the president for the appointment of Mohammed Abubakar Adamu as the new Inspector General of Police. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In a related development, Nigerians in the diaspora have extended their campaign for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari back home and down to the grassroots. They have a strong campaign message: no vacancy in Aso Rock, and that a vote for President Muhammadu Buhari is a vote for national rebirth. Political correspondent Saliu Abdullahi reports that the group is already reaching out to stakeholders.
The support organization believed President Muhammadu Buhari is qualified for a second term in view of what his administration has accomplished, in addition to his desire for a secure nation that will guarantee development. The group planned to take its campaigns across the country.
This is the president that will tackle unemployment, which is already doing and is helping. The market women are all smiling. The 5,000 naira, people might say, is small, but it's helping to start up a small business. Even abroad, there is what we call small business startup.
Chairman, Central Working Committee of the APC Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team, Muhammadu Buba Marwa, described the show of support as a value addition to the campaigns.
They are saying that Nigerians should not go out on an experiment. They should hold on to what is already live and direct and that exists, that has performed, that we have seen, that has met what he said he will meet. More than anything else, the true test of a leader is when he says he's going to do ABC and he does it. That is what President Buhari is all about: sincerity, his commitment, his integrity.
The Buhari International Support Organization has membership across the world. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the campaign organization of Taraba State gubernatorial candidate has appealed to members to remain calm over yesterday's incidents in Wukari. The Director General Campaign Organization, Comrade Bomboy Bala Kegama, stated this while briefing newsmen in Jalingo. Awal Abdullahi reports.
The Taraba State APC governorship campaign entourage recently escaped being consumed, including the gubernatorial candidate Alhaji Sani Abubakar Danladi, following an attack in Okari local government area on their way to Ibi for campaign rally.
We strongly believe that the attack on our convoy was poorly executed plan to kill our gubernatorial candidate Alhaji Sani Abubakar Danladi, whose car was directly hit and a bullet still lodged in the car.
Meanwhile, the state governor Dario Dixon Ishiaku has disassociated himself from the conflict.
He advised politicians to exercise restraint as they move around to campaign, and to ensure that thugs have no role to play during campaigns and the elections.
The State Police Commissioner David Akiremi, who confirmed the attack, reported that calm has been restored in the area.
Yes, a few cars were said to have been burned from the report I got from the men on ground, but we're on top of the situation.
The crisis erupted just few days after gubernatorial candidates in the state signed peace accord for a free and credible elections. In Jalingo, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Still on the 2019 elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the final list of nominated candidates for the 16th February elections. But the names of some party candidates are not included. Why this non-inclusion? Mayor Ogidi tells us more.
73 presidential, 1,904 senatorial, 4,680 House of Representatives candidates made the final list released by INEC to participate in the February 16th general elections. This is in line with Section 34 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, that the said names must be published 30 days before the elections. So, when the list was released on the 17th of January 2019, it was a cheering news for some. But that was not the same commentary for the APC family in Zamfara and Rivers State, as well as the Social Democratic Party presidential ticket, as their names were conspicuously absent on the list of nominated candidates. INEC, however, gave reasons for the action.
For the SDP, the court said that they should forward the name of Jerry Ghana as their, just a minute, as their presidential candidate. If they forward, we will accept. In relation to the issue in Zamfara, the position of the commission is that party primary elections, either direct or indirect primaries, did not take place in Zamfara. Rivers APC does not have any candidate, and that is based on the orders of a properly constituted court of law.
But how final is the final list?
If at the end of the day the court says we are wrong and they submit a list, we will accept.
And for the affected political parties?
Now, in the next 24 hours, we do our best to make sure that INEC receive that form and the needful is done.
In politics, a lot can still change in 3 weeks as the countdown to the elections continue. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government says it will continue to explore strategies towards guaranteeing optimal and professional security services delivery before, during and after the general elections. The National Security Advisor Babagana Mongono affirmed this at the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security meeting in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
The meeting is to review 3 critical areas in the election process and evaluate the level of preparedness of the Nigeria Police Force as the lead election security agency. The committee will also deliberate on interagency collaboration, budgetary, logistics and personnel gap.
I wish to renew our assurance to the nation and the international community of the unwavering commitment of the federal government of Nigeria to employ strategies and initiate actions that will guarantee a peaceful and very secure environment for the electorate to freely exercise their voting rights.
The Commission's preparations are on course for the 2019 general elections. We are looking forward to a collaborative relationship with the security agencies that will ensure that processes are protected.
The electorates are being advised to resist the temptation of being used as cannon foders during the election by misguided and desperate politicians. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
In a related development, Nigerian Television Authority has reaffirmed its commitment of providing a level playing ground for all political parties and other stakeholders in the electoral process. The Director General of the authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, stated this when he received a delegation of European Union Election Observation Mission, Nigeria 2019. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Members of the European Union Election Observation Mission, Nigeria 2019, are in Nigeria ahead of the chief observer to discuss with key stakeholders on the need for a peaceful, free and fair elections next month. The team will observe the realities of the electoral process before and during the conduct of the general polls, which begin from February 16. This meeting with the management of the NTA becomes imperative, prompting the delegation's media analyst interlace to seek to know what the authority has been doing preparatory to the general elections.
As we all understand that media is playing a very important role in electoral process and in covering the campaign and helping voters to make an informed choice on the election day.
Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who briefed the delegation on the elaborate plan for effective and efficient coverage, is optimistic that the coming elections will be free, fair and credible. He assured of the authorities' continued objective reportage of activities of political parties and other electoral stakeholders.
Take a look at our screens, our news, our programs. Every political party that is registered, by INEC to participate in the forthcoming elections is given, adequate coverage. And we do not organize events for political parties. There are political parties that have more events than others. Our responsibility as a media organization is to cover events, not to organize events for political parties.
Conscious of its constitutional responsibility to Nigerians, the Director General reassured Nigerians that the NTA will be fair to all. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Still on election matters, socio-economic activities in Kaduna metropolis were virtually put on hold as APC presidential campaign train arrived the state to garner public support towards sustaining the broom revolution in the greater interest of all across the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that for President Muhammadu Buhari, it was virtually a homecoming of some sorts, and the response by the people was overwhelming and remarkable.
Without doubt, President Muhammadu Buhari is a unique personality and indeed phenomenal in Nigeria's political landscape. For his enormous integrity, honesty, and genuine commitment to Nigeria, especially the less privileged, it has been massive show of public support, appreciation, and respect wherever he goes. In Kaduna, which is virtually home for President Muhammadu Buhari, the remarkable demonstration of love and adoration by the people is better seen than imagined. President Buhari is here at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in the heart of the city to solicit support for his re-election, but in the state that gave him over 1 million votes, even as an opposition candidate in 2015, this, to the people, is just to fulfill all righteousness. Speakers at the grand rally, including the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, and Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, take pride in the remarkable achievements recorded so far by the Buhari administration. The turnout of the people at the event, they say, signifies appreciation and desire for consolidation through continuity of the leadership that cares for all.
Nigeria cannot develop if it is led by men or even women who like truth and who have no commitment to justice and fairness.
What you have seen from the airport to here, it took us over 1 hour to get here. It's not an expression of support in politics. It is an expression of pure and unadulterated love. We are confident that this time around, based on the work you have done in Kaduna State, based on the work you have done in Nigeria, the voters in Kaduna State will give you more than 80% of the total votes.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the people of Kaduna for their resolute commitment to the ideals of the change agenda. The president, who spoke in Hausa language, told the people that the governing APC has not in any way betrayed their trust and will never do so under his watch. He said, in line with pre-election promises of securing the country, diversifying the economy, and fighting corruption, his administration has delivered on his mandate. The best, he however said, is yet to come, and solicited their support for the more promising next level. At the rally, flags were presented to the APC governorship and senatorial candidates for the forthcoming elections, with a call on Kaduna people to do whatever is necessary towards sustaining the broom revolution. From Kaduna, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
I will now hand over to Elizabeth in Lagos for more updates from that zone. Hello, Elizabeth.
It's nice to see you, Jumai, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Statistics indicate that out of 100,000 Nigerians diagnosed with cancer yearly, 8,000 die from the disease. Now, this is about to change as the federal government is intensifying efforts at providing radiotherapy hospitals in the country. Michael Olaleye reports that the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, was in Lagos to inspect one of such facilities.
The ultra-modern cancer treatment center, still under construction, is equipped with 2 radiotherapy machines, the Vital Beam High Energy and Hysin Low Energy. They are designed in line with the new technology of using radiation to extract cancer tumors.
It allows you to treat much more patients than any machine in the market today. We have cases today in India where they're treating 120 patients in less than 14 hours.
Minister of Health said the federal government is expanding its health care program to achieve universal coverage, adding that a bill to make health insurance compulsory for all Nigerians is before the National Assembly.
I think on the long term
basis. What we look forward to is a day you walk into Luth, you want to have treatment, you either write a check if you can afford it, or say, Luth, I have an insurance, or say, oh, because you don't have an insurance and you're poor, we will cover you and government will reimburse us.
The Chief Medical Director of the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Professor Chris Bode, assured the Minister of Regular Maintenance of the facility.
It has been paid for maintenance and repair. Anything that will make the machine not to work for 95% of the time has been paid for.
The minister also inspected the bone marrow transfer unit for the treatment of sickle cell anemia and the ultrasound center. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
The Lagos State governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has assured women in the state that his administration will promote their concerns if elected into power. He stated this at an interactive session with women tagged Enabling, Empowering and Promoting Women. Tunde Saiki reports.
Interactive session organized by the Office of the All Progressives Congress, APC Women Leader, Lagos State, is aimed at getting firsthand the pact, agenda and programs that the governorship candidate has mapped out for women if voted into power. The governorship candidate, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his deputy, Dr. Kadiri Obafemi Hamzat, used the opportunity to reiterate the place of women in his administration if given the opportunity to become governor.
Championing the cause. And I will say to you very clearly, ma'am, that even without asking our political leaders, that at the minimum we'll ensure that our SSG should be given to a woman.
The deputy governor of the state, Dr. Idiat Adebule, and the state APC chairman, Babatunde Balogun, described the interactive session with the governorship candidate as novel idea that could go a long way in including women in the affairs of governance.
I've had the opportunity of one-on-one with the candidate, and I'm sure and I'm convinced that this brand the APC is presented to you is a good brand.
Organizer of the event, Jumoke Okoya Thomas, said though the candidate and his deputy are tested and trusted personalities, the women still needed to be informed of their plans for them.
They say people perish for lack of knowledge. We don't want people to perish. We want them to know what this man has in store for Lagos State.
The session was attended by women from all walks of life and other APC members drawn from across the state. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this time out. Stay with us.
This is NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja. Now, established in 2012, the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, domiciled under the Central Bank of Nigeria, is aimed at reducing the number of eligible adult Nigerians excluded from the formal financial system. This is thus through regular interface with relevant stakeholders. Chimobi Walter in Nigeria was at the 2019 National Financial Literacy Stakeholders Conference and filed in this report.
Data released by Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access (EFINA) shows that about 36.6 million Nigerians do not have access to financial services. This figure represents about 36.8% of the adult population. To ensure a downward shift from this demography, the 2019 conference has as its objectives to keep participants abreast with growing trends of the financial market, enhance consumer confidence and trust in the financial services, and obtain customer feedback on implementation of the policies.
I think it's important to note that as markets develop, with the introduction of new innovative players, products, and channels, the challenge for us as regulatory agencies shall be to balance two things: our supervisory objectives that are aimed at identifying and managing the risks that come with these, with supporting market development and ensuring that we achieve our financial inclusion goals.
It is important that the bank and stakeholders establish structures and programs that will engender confidence among the general public and consumers. This is even more imperative considering the fact that we only just are coming out of recession.
The conference unveiled new policy documents on revised National Financial Inclusion Strategy Consumer Protection Framework, National Financial Literacy Framework, and National Financial Education Strategy. In their submissions, some of the stakeholders believe that attaining a 70% inclusion rate target by 2020 is achievable. The National Financial Inclusion Strategy also targets to reach the micro, small and medium enterprises as part of efforts to achieve financial inclusion for the populace. In Abuja, Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
Thank you, Chimobi. And Ogechi is standing by for more from our Port Harcourt zone. Hello, Ogechi.
Hello to Port Harcourt. The National Orientation Agency, NOA in Rivers State, has organized a town hall meeting to further drive home the message for peaceful, transparent and credible 2019 general elections. Emmanuel Lene has that report.
Participants at this town hall meeting include heads of ministries and agencies, media practitioners, INEC officials, security agencies, labor and trade unions, civil society organizations, and faith-based organizations, students. The theme of this town hall meeting is the role of the Freedom of Information Act and open government partnership in ensuring peaceful, credible 2019 general elections.
We shall critically analyze the use of the Freedom of Information Act in promoting national interests.
Engaging with voters, media, civil society organizations and other agencies of government remains a good path.
Responsibly and to hold government accountable at all levels.
As individuals, representatives of various organizations, we have a large role to play to ensure that this thing comes out in a way that we will all be proud of.
In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene. News.
Well, that's our package from here. It's back to you, Jume, in Abuja.
Ogechi, another break beckons. We'll be right back.
Buhari support.
Thanks for staying with NTA Network News. Now sports. Nigerian Professional Football League enters day 3 on Sunday as defending women's champions Carolina Wozniacki is out of the Australian Open. Ayodeji Makinde is our guide.